The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, is brought to you by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/expat2020. Hey everyone, this is The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. I'm your host, Expat2020, along with my co-host Dan. This is episode 14. Dan, how you doing today, man?
14? Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, I'm all right. I'm a bit tired, and how are you doing? What's new?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I bought a helmet for my bicycling, thanks to your kind advice.
Yeah, it shouldn't have taken me to tell you to do that, though, to be fair.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm just a stubborn mule sometimes, but hey, I finally got one. So
I'm very glad because the pavement isn't soft. It's
yeah, and here in Japan, that's all there is pavement.
Yeah.
The concrete jungle wherever you go. So
yeah.
And with us today, a very special guest, and I'm honored to have her here today. I first got to know our special guest by watching her on YouTube. She did a lot of videos on Game of Thrones. She's very well knowledged on Game of Thrones, and she also did some Witcher series videos as well. So valkarii, welcome to the show today. Welcome to the Arena. It's great to have you.
Hi. Yes, awesome to be here. Thank you so much for the invite.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself? So basically, what got you into gaming, and what kind of games do you like to play the most, and what are you currently playing?
Okay, so a little bit about myself. It's so on YouTube you can find me under Because Geek. Yes, I was making Game of Thrones videos, then I started making a few Witcher videos, then I moved over to Twitch. And I've been doing Twitch for about 2.5 years now. And usually I like to play, it's different because on Twitch I like to play games that have a story and games that are very popular, games that people love a lot, that they have nostalgia for, that type of thing. I usually go to games that have, they've been around for a while, not like games that just came out. But on my own time, I like to play mostly FPS games, actually. The first-person shooter games, I'm very big on those. Other than that, my favorite game of all time is The Witcher. The Witcher 3, especially. Just like RPG games. And and I'm slowly getting into horror games now. So that's another thing. But on my streams on Twitch, right now I'm playing the Dark Souls. I'm just getting into Dark Souls for the first time. So I'm a bit of a noob, but finally becoming a Dark Souls fan. Yes, I'm starting with Dark Souls 1 and going through all of them. And then I've also been going through the Mass Effect games. I'm on Mass Effect 3 right now. Just started that. And then also The Last of Us. So that's another one.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks for that. So before jumping into what Dan and I have been playing, I want to tell everyone out there that you can head over to The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, as well as on Spotify and on Amazon Music. Just download your favorite podcast app or open Spotify and search for The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a website for the podcast at expat2020.podbean.com, where you can also follow us and leave questions and comments as well. Also, if you'd like to support the show and get early access to every episode and listen ad-free along with other perks, please visit patreon.com/expat2020 for further details. You can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena, AMPGNP, which stands for a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Finally, the podcast will also be uploaded to my YouTube channel at Expat 2020 Gaming. So you can go there to listen and subscribe and click that notification bell for future podcast episodes, and also leave any comments or questions you might have that we might read on a future episode. Now, Dan, I've been playing Dead Space 2 recently.
I saw that. Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It is amazing. Of course, Dead Space is my favorite horror game of all time, which we'll be talking about a little bit more later of our favorite horror games. But Dead Space 2 is almost as good. I mean, just walking down those corridors and then those jump scares and, I love it. I mean, just that adrenaline rush you get. And, in Dead Space 2, what's really interesting is you have the hacking capability, which you didn't really have so much in the first game. So you're doing a lot of hacking. You still have the line cutters and the other, weapons that you had from the first game. But yeah, it's fun. I'm really loving it. And I've been live streaming it, for the Spooktober. That's what I've been playing. Yeah, Spooktober.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's good. It's not as good as 1, though, is it?
No, not as good, but still, I mean, that adrenaline rush you get, that jump, the jump scares, some of the aliens are a little bit different in the game as well. But
No, it's good. 3 didn't happen. Just the game ends after 2. That's
oh no, it's one of those.
Yeah, it is, unfortunately. But the second one has some. Yeah, the lore and the world building is pretty excellent in 2. I've got to be honest. It was they really fleshed out the cult behind the necromorphs, whatever they're called. Yeah, no, excellent game. Good choice. Very good choice.
Yeah. And so, what about you? What have you been playing, Dan?
Oh, I've not been playing very much. I've been so crazy busy, but I finished Mario Brothers Wii U Deluxe, which was actually really, really good. I started playing Five Nights at Freddy's last night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It might take something special to get me into that. I don't know. I couldn't. It didn't quite grab me first time around. So I'll have another go at it tonight, I think.
Oh, that game has so much lore. Oh my god! If you really get into it,
I didn't realize this. I work at. Well, I'm currently working. I'm doing an outreach program with a school in Cambridge, and the kids were telling me about Five Nights at Freddy, and I didn't realize. But they're like, this little lass is like, oh, you've got to watch this video that explains it in this video, and I recommend this guy's videos, and it's like, what, really? There's like 6 hours of reading to do before I can play this stupid game about animatronic animals.
Yeah, there's a lot, surprisingly, yeah.
All right, so I'm like, oh, brilliant.
So many theories. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that'd be, I had no idea it was that deep. So, yeah, that's what I'll be playing.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and jump into the news. So the first story we have this week is delays, more delays. Of course, Ubisoft, they also mentioned that Far Cry 6 and was it
Rainbow Six
Rainbow Six Quarantine, yes, will be delayed past Q1 of next year. But the big one this week, obviously, is Cyberpunk 2077 being delayed to December 10th. So I want to ask you guys, I mean, CD Projekt Red, they're saying that the main reason for this delay are issues getting the day 0 patch for the game ready. So, I mean, Dan, is there really a precedent being into the retro game scene?
Yeah.
Was there any other precedent where a game that had gone gold, the main disc for manufacturing had already been done, it's finished, right? And then having the game delayed again after the game has gone gold. Has that ever happened before?
I don't know, because it seems weird, because the whole point of going gold and the day 1 patch is that, so you can get the base stuff out into the shopping area, so into the shops and stores, and then you can patch the rest out later on down the line on the day it actually comes out. The fact that they've delayed the game for a launch patch, I don't know, that's really weird.
Yeah.
And I can't really think of any, because, in our current gaming climate, the day 1 patch is now standard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That's really, it just seems to be the kind of, maybe they rushed going for gold to give people good news. Hey, the game's gone gold, don't worry about it. But behind the scenes, they're massively crunching, trying to get this day one patch up and running, and they haven't been able to. There's also been rumblings of problems with the PS4 version. That's the reason for the delay, apparently.
I'm thinking that they're like blatantly trying to push this game back so that they can release it on all generation consoles at once.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It does seem unfortunate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Val, were you looking forward to playing Cyberpunk at launch?
Well, I mean, you guys have no idea, but this was huge for me because it was actually gonna come out on my birthday. November 19th was my birthday, is my birthday, and I was so fucking excited because I wanted to play it on the day it came out, and the fact that it was my birthday. And I don't usually stream on Thursdays, which is when my birthday was going to land. But I was going to stream on Thursday just because it's Cyberpunk. It's coming out on my birthday. I have to do it. And then this happened, and
move your birthday. Done. Easy.
So that was a bit annoying, but it's okay. There's other games I can play, but it's only 21 days, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I can wait.
Yeah, I really feel bad for the people. Some people in my community, they actually took time off from their work.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people doing that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so now they're going to have to reschedule their time off.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
No, man. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But I mean, hopefully it's 3 weeks. I don't know. They could delay it again. I don't know. Hopefully not.
Oh my God.
You're already cutting it way too fine. Yeah. 2 weeks before Christmas is oof. Yeah. Well, you never know. But I think moreover, sorry, have you got anything to add to this? I just want to.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Dan. Yeah.
Moreover, did you see the president of was it the president of CD Projekt Red going, yeah, we're in crunch, but it's no big deal.
Yeah.
And then all of his staff
3 weeks of extra crunch, yeah.
Yeah, and then all of his staff went, well, you're not the one doing 70-hour weeks, my friend. You're the one that's just rocking up when he feels like it.
Yeah, I think somebody that came out anonymously that actually is working on the game was saying that they put a 100-hour work week in.
Yeah.
Like last week or something like that. Yeah, 100-hour work week.
Jesus, how do you even do that?
So then, old matey boy had to retract the statement going, yeah, sorry, I didn't actually mean it was nothing. Oh my God. And then, of course, there's been all the death threats.
Yeah.
What is your problem? The game, the most trivial thing on the planet, let's be honest, games are utterly trivial. A game has been slightly delayed. I want to murder people. I'm going to shower people's Twitter with threats of how I'm going to kill them and their families. It's like, mate, seriously.
Yeah.
Man, alive. People.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's hope it comes out on the 10th. So,
I'm sure it will.
What that means now is that just opens a window for a lot more game time with Assassin's Creed. I mean, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is probably going to be the game of November now.
Yep, so that's exactly the game that I was replacing Cyberpunk with. Because I was very torn between those two, actually. And the fact that they're pushing Cyberpunk makes it so much easier for me to pick Valhalla for my birthday stream. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of Assassin's Creed, that leads us into the next story, Netflix. So, Dan, you have Netflix, right?
I have Netflix.
Yep. Val, you have Netflix?
Yep.
So Netflix is making a live-action Assassin's Creed series. From they say the first of many. So, what I want to ask you guys is, especially you, Val, because you're really into Game of Thrones and the Witcher series, and The Witcher, I think, was one of the reasons why they decided to push the green light and go with this. Because The Witcher has been so successful. Now, with Assassin's Creed, the lore of, many games going into different, time periods of history. Do you think we're going to see that with this Netflix series? Some people were talking about this could be kind of like a I don't know if you remember this series. It was a long time ago with Scott Bakula. It was called Quantum Leap, where he would
Best
go
show
into
ever.
different eras of time, in the same universe, but he would go into different eras of time. So maybe like an assassin would be using the Animus to jump into different, particular eras during a particular season or whatever. But I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? I mean, where do you think this series could go?
Well, I mean, you said they're going to make like a few of these, not just one, right? So maybe they will just focus on one time period for each of these. That would make sense, I guess. I feel like jumping through different time periods would be too much for one, like at least for one season. I would rather they focus on one time period per season at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Dan, what about you? What do you think? How could this series be successful, do you think?
Just don't bother and make more actual Quantum Leap. That'd be amazing. I bloody love Quantum Leap. I've got the DVD box set.
It's a great series, yeah.
It's excellent. Proper sci-fi. Whatever. Cool. I never saw the Michael Fassbender Assassin's Creed movie because I heard it was poo.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Was it in fact poo?
It was, I mean, if you shut your brain off, you can enjoy it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of those where it's like, okay, yeah. It's fun.
It didn't do too well at the box office, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool. I mean, budgetarily, I think having time hopping across multiple time zones, that's gonna cost. I mean, the reason why like Witcher looks so good as it does is, I guess they've got that one time zone, that one aesthetic. I don't know, maybe, but it'd be very impressive if they did. But yeah, whatever, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'll probably watch it.
I don't know, like I feel like maybe video games turning into TV shows will be like the next thing that starts happening a lot. Maybe they'll start a trend.
Yeah, that's true. And they've got like more movies coming out. They've got animated Mario movie coming out before long, and there's so many other things that are just ripe for exploiting. And
then there's like competition, and competition breeds excellence or whatever. I don't know the saying, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's just a case of like, because games these days, like the writing is generally pretty damn good. I guess it's so much easier to exploit, like the massive lore of Assassin's Creed than it was, earlier games. So it makes sense. It's not that great a transition now.
Casting will be important, though, I think.
Who do you want to be Assassin, Mr. and Mrs. Assassin?
I think, what do you think, Val? I think Kit Harington would be a good assassin.
He'd be cool. Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah.
There's so many options.
Yeah, so many options. It won't be Michael Fassbender, that's for sure. So.
Yeah.
Are they... so, like, I've not played Assassin's Creed since the days of, like, Desmond, really. When it had...
You played Syndicate.
Oh, was that post Desmond? Was it?
Yeah, that's post Desmond. That's
bloody hell, okay.
The one in London. Yeah,
shows you how memorable that was.
Yeah, like you were saying a couple of weeks ago. Go stab that governor.
Go stab that governor. Okay, because there seems to be like a divergence in lore in Assassin's Creed, doesn't it? Because it was all very much, it was genetic, and now it's just anyone can do it, and they're just chasing the pieces of Eden. Is that what's happening now? What is the background lore of?
Well, yeah, that is a point that I think the Netflix series producers are probably going to be changing some of that around. But in the game now, I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't played Odyssey, but there was another particular piece of, not like the Apple of Eden or anything like that, but another piece from the founders that the Templars were looking for. But I think stuff like that's going to be changed a little bit, for the Netflix series. I think they're gonna change things up a bit. I don't think it'll be 100% based on the games. I think they're gonna
the concept.
I think they're gonna change things up. We'll see. But
what is the So what is the narrative thread between the current games then? How do other games reference each other, and how does the player know how? Because for me, looking inwards, it looks like it's just an interconnected series of Assassin games with the title of Assassin's Creed. Yeah. Yeah. How do the games refer to each other, and how do you keep track of the wider narrative?
It's completely, it's almost 100% different from the Desmond games. I mean, you know, you have a different assassin, and she's, you know, like you were saying earlier with the Animus. I mean, the Animus is different now, where it doesn't have to be one particular person's DNA. Just anybody can pretty much jump in there.
Right.
And they've been focusing more on the origin story in the game. Whereas during the Desmond years, you saw, you know, the game with Ezio and the Apple of Eden, things like that. And with Altair, you know, those games focused more on the Middle Ages, whereas the last couple of games have been focusing on the origins of the assassins in general. Yeah. I mean, Odyssey goes even farther back from Bayek, from Assassin's Creed Origins, from Egypt, when he founded the Assassin's Order, whereas Odyssey is like 300 to 400 years before that, actually. Okay. So
how does Origins and Odyssey connect then? What's the connecting
it connects
thread?
At the end. Well, okay, spoilers for people who haven't played the games, but you probably might have played it already.
It's been like 5 years.
Yeah. In the Assassin's Creed Origins, basically, the main character, Bayek's wife, she is a descendant of Cassandra from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So that's how it ties in.
Oh, it's so confusing. How does anyone keep up with all this stuff?
Right.
Okay.
So I think basically for the Netflix series, it's going to be a completely different character. Everything's going to, you know, some of the premises of the game will be in it. You know, the Animus will probably be in it.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be a completely different timeline, a completely different, you know, era. That's what I'm thinking. So
I think they'll need a modern equivalent of like Desmond just to keep the narrative in check, because that was a nice way to connect all the games together, wasn't it? I thought so. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, one of my friends in the community was saying they should just do the Desmond story and have like Desmond as the main character. You know.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense. And it's way easier for the audience to have that central focus point of this one guy and then these offshoots of that guy. But keeping like one character a constant throughout, that'd be pretty. Well, anyway, should be good.
Yeah. Val, do you have anything else you want to add to this story, to the Assassin's Creed lore or anything?
I haven't played enough of these games to add more, but I would love to see the Valhalla version of it for sure. Actually, no, the what was number 3? Was it number 3? The one?
Yeah. The one when you're in North America, right?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 3 is in Boston, like Boston and New York during the colonial period, during the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, I'd be more interested in that one, just because, I mean, I love Viking stuff, but there's so much Viking content out there right now. I would rather Assassin's Creed do something like that, like Boston,
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go ahead and jump to the topic of the show. So last week, there was some waves created online and on Twitter. The creative director at the Montreal studio of Stadia Games, Alex Hutchinson, made some comments regarding streamers on Twitch and that they should pay for a license.
Cool.
And after that, Google, of course, distanced themselves from those comments. So, Dan and Val, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. I mean, you think about this and you think of what Nintendo did a few years ago. They tried to take a 30 or 40% cut from YouTubers who were, trying to stream Nintendo games. But I don't know. The question of monetization. I mean, is the current situation a fair trade-off? I'd like to hear what you have to say on that. But first, I'd like to read a comment from a fan of the show.
Yay!
And her name is Super Lynn. She's a Twitch streamer as well. Super Lynn says, I feel like the current situation is already a fair trade-off. streamers buy the game and they basically give out free marketing / publicity for the game. I get a lot of invites to be a brand ambassador, and usually they tell me that brand ambassadors have an exclusive, like 50 to 75% off of their products in exchange for posting or promoting their products. But in the end, we still have to pay for the product. It's already a give and take situation, but I feel like Alex Hutchinson is pushing it a bit too hard. So what are your thoughts on this? Dan, do you want to go ahead and start with this?
That's all right. Val, you're up. What do you think?
Okay. Val, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I completely agree with that. That's exactly what I was going to say. We are showing off this game to so many people and exposing so many people to their game. We're definitely potentially making them money. So I think like us paying for the game itself is already enough. We shouldn't be paying more to advertise their stuff. I mean, that just sounds kind of odd. Usually you get paid to advertise stuff, right? So, yeah, no, I agree with that. Especially getting discounts I think it would be extremely fair. Especially for the bigger streamers as well. Imagine how much exposure you get with the larger streamers on a game. Like how many people are going to buy that game just because this streamer is playing it? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was pointed out, though, that it's like, the viewership on Twitch has changed a lot over the years, whereas in the beginnings, it used to be more for promoting games and sales, whereas a lot of the viewership nowadays is more for the entertainment value.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if I had to pay for a license to stream games, I wouldn't be able to stream. I wouldn't be able to afford that. So
yeah.
And I think that's the same with a lot of other streamers. That's why once these comments came out, there was a huge red flag. It's like, no way.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, Dan, what do you think of this? Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I tell you, some very powerful people who have taken that guy behind the scenes and gone, what the hell are you talking about? People from Google will have tapped him on his shoulder and gone, hey, man, shut the hell up. Yeah, you'll never hear this again. There's no way. I mean, like you guys said, one, you've paid for a product, deal with it. What I do with the product once I've paid for it is up to me. That's how the world works. Two, yeah, famous Nintendo. I thought Nintendo wanted like 50%. I remember it being
it was up to 40%, and that's that's when all hell was raised.
And yeah,
YouTubers like PewDiePie and everything were just like, no way.
Well, yeah, what happened? Nintendo disappeared off YouTube for a while.
Yeah, everyone was like, but then they created another like a creators program or something like that, where they didn't have to pay extra money. They didn't have like a 30 for 40% cut or whatever. So.
Yeah, I don't know how Nintendo got away with that. I don't know why YouTube capitulated on that. I don't know why people went along with it. I kind of wish I'd been streaming just so I could have given a big FU. Because that's not how the world or YouTube or the internet works. That was really weird. But that was, that was to Nintendo. Yeah, they're still stuck in the 80s, bless them. They're trying, but they don't understand how the internet works. But yeah, no, I doubt that you'll ever hear this again. Streamers like you guys, you build massive revenue for these people. Yeah, I think it was a dumb thing for someone to say, and they will have been slapped down for it behind the scenes.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any of this when next generation arrives. I think this is a moot point.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm always wary of like that the listener comment, like, of being a brand ambassador, you get massive discounts in favor of positive feedback, isn't it? Usually, I mean, no one's going to say, "Here's 70% off my game." Oh, and just say what you like. I'm always very wary of like full disclosure. If you're going to review games, you should be paying what we're paying for games. Because the difference between you paying 20 quid to try a game and me paying 60 quid to try a game, our reviews are going to be very, very different on those games. I mean, that's just a simple fact. So, I'm always very aware of like full disclosure in that sort of thing, and I think like it's like bribing people with, oh hey, we'll give you half price of our games just to stream it, blah blah blah. I don't know. That's a different story though, very different story.
Yeah.
So Val, have you ever been approached for doing any kind of branding yet? I haven't yet, but have you?
Actually, today I just received an email to play an RPG game.
Nice.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've never heard of it. It's probably one of those like Raid Shadow Legends type of things that everyone is making,
like a mobile
for.
game or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably one of those, something like that. But yeah, I don't get approached too much. I don't know. On Twitch, it's different. On YouTube, you get approached a lot. On Twitch, you need to grow a bit more before you start getting approached, I feel, from my own experience. But yeah, I did get one when I was on YouTube. I got one game company come to me. It is like a very like a startup type of feel with this company. Just a small team of people who were working on a game called Ground. And they came to me because they liked my content and they wanted me to play their game. And I really enjoyed the game. So I streamed it on YouTube when I was streaming on YouTube Gaming. And it was great. And yeah. And then, yeah, like after that, they contacted me to work on another game actually that they were working on, but because they wanted some like input on the story from me, based on what I had done for the Game of Thrones videos, analyzing the Game of Thrones story and all that. But yeah, that's my only experience, I think, with advertising games. And then I just got like a free code for one zombie game on Steam, or a couple of them, and I just didn't play them. They were like, play it if you want it, or if you don't, it's fine. But yeah, yeah, not too much.
I see. Yeah, not when it comes to games, but I mean, this podcast, I think, it would be fun, like if we could, like in the next generation, maybe PS6, if we could get PS6 before launch.
Yeah, imagine how cool that would be.
Oh man, yeah.
I like the optimism that is going to be a PS6. That's adorable.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, or Xbox Series X1, yes. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. That's the main difference though between Twitch and YouTube. It's like on Twitch you have to be really big for something for them to take you seriously. On YouTube you can just get a few thousand views and you already get good deals.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Okay, so let's move on and let's talk about some of our special memories from the past generation of gaming, particularly because now it is Halloween, pretty much everywhere in the world now as we record. So some horror games you've played and what you liked, disliked about them. And is there a favorite horror game for you? Like I was saying earlier, my favorite horror game of all time is Dead Space. I love that game. I love the adrenaline rush. I love that feel of coming around a corner and then some monster jumping out at you with swords for arms and having to just cut him in half with a line cutter. I love that game so much. Another horror game that I loved a lot was Resident Evil 7. And I played some of it in VR as well.
Cool.
That was quite an experience. I played a game called Narcosis, which was really, really good as well. So yeah, Dead Space is for sure the best horror game of any generation for me. So how about for you guys? Val, let's start with you. Some of your favorite horror games. I know you haven't been playing horror games for a long, long time, but some of the games that you played recently and, what did you like about them or what did you dislike about them?
Yes. So I only started playing horror games actually almost exactly a year ago, because I was already streaming on Twitch and Halloween was coming up. And I figured I had to play a horror game for Halloween. And I had never played any horror games because I was a big wuss with like horror stuff. I've never gotten into it. And I just decided to just go for it. I tried Layers of Fear as my first horror game.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Going through that house and all the paintings and everything.
Yeah, the story was very interesting. The scares were pretty good. It was a really good introductory game into horror as a genre. And I enjoyed it a lot. And then after that, I decided to just always have like one horror game in my like roster of games on my Twitch. And so we moved on to Alien Isolation after that one.
Oh.
And so Alien Isolation, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Wow. Yeah, wow. It was an amazing game. I went into it just thinking that I was going to hate it. I was absolutely convinced that I couldn't do it. That there's no way. I hate horror. There's no way I can get through this game. I'm just going to give it a try and just drop it and just forget about it. But I started playing it, and oh my God, I got into it so much. It was challenging. I played it on the recommended difficulty, which was, I think, hard. And yeah, I just like I fell in love with the story. Fell in love with the whole mechanics of the game. I fell in love with how well the game was made itself. It's just the AI of the alien was so good. How it learned your patterns and how it just, the more you do one thing to get away from it, the more it learns that you're doing that one thing. And so it starts like getting smarter on you. And yeah, the entire game experience was really good. And so after playing through Layers of Fear and Alien Isolation, I'm like, okay, I'm really getting into horror. Like I'm actually starting to enjoy getting scared instead of being afraid of being scared. I am willingly putting myself in a situation where I will get scared just because I'm actually enjoying it. It's not that I'm not scared anymore. I'm definitely still scared, but I enjoy it more. And so after that, I played Visage. And Visage was another amazing experience. Very similar to Layers of Fear in the sense that you're going through a house. And, you're dealing with a ghost that's hunting the house, and you have to figure out, like, getting a whole bunch of clues to figure out what the story is behind the ghost. And there's a few jump scares, there's a few creepy things, and it's just, Visage was awesome. Visage is still on early access, and it's supposed to be getting new chapters very soon, so I'm very excited to continue playing Visage in the future.
Very popular on Twitch right now too, so a lot of streamers are playing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's really good. So yeah, I'm really, really into, I started watching horror movies after that as well, just because I'm like finally getting into horror, and like I finally enjoy horror for the first time in my life, and it's awesome.
So I'm surprised in a sense that you're so big on Game of Thrones, because the Army of the Dead and the Night King, I mean, it probably scared the hell out of you, yeah?
I don't know. For Game of Thrones, it was different. It was weird because it's like, I guess the fantasy aspect of it, just the fact that it doesn't feel like it's our world. It has nothing to do with our world. It's like a completely different world. Game of Thrones feels like. So I think that's what helped me deal with the Game of Thrones whites. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. All right, Dan, how about you?
Horror games.
Yes.
Well, so we're talking about this generation. I thoroughly enjoyed the Resi 2 remake. I've got the Resi 3 remake, but I haven't started that one yet. I thought they were exceptionally good games. Bloodborne is a very good. Well, that's kind of a horror game, eldritch horror. But probably my favorite. Yeah, I'm alongside Dead Space, which is a work of art. Probably Resi 4 is my favorite horror game of all time.
Oh,
because Resi 4 is not only an amazing horror game, it's an amazing action game at the same time, and
And I'm putting my money on it's going to be remastered for PS5.
I really bloody don't want them to. You don't need to. The whole point of remaking 2 and 3 was to bring the mechanics of 4 to those earlier games. Resi 4 already has that in place. You don't need to. You've got fast aiming, you've got loads of ammunition, you've got the action elements already there. You don't need to remake 4 in the same vein as 2 and 3. So I really freaking hope they don't, because they can only hurt it. They can only hurt it, because 4 is perfect.
It's a great game. Probably one of the best RE games, yeah.
It's absolutely flawless. So yeah, I read that same headline and my heart just sank. I'm like, no, don't do it. Upscale it, whatever you want. Have GameCube graphics in 4K if you have to, but for love of God, don't do a remake of 4.
I think the reason why I said that is because they're doing Demon's Souls. So
yeah.
It would be in that kind of vein, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe that warrants it. I don't know. Maybe there's a difference. Maybe part of the charm is the slightly naff GameCube graphics. I mean, but even no. But when Resi 4 came out, at the time, like 2003 or so, 2004, that game looked freaking amazing. Like the graphics hold up now on Resi 4, like 18 years later.
Just like Dead Space. I mean, Dead Space.
Yeah, but that's a latest gen title. That's not really good.
2007, I think.
Yeah, but that's only one gen away. We're talking GameCube.
Yeah.
But that does hold up graphically. So that's awesome. Some quality horror games out there. I was thinking about Outlast as well. You played Outlast, didn't you? When you were running around.
I played the first one. I haven't played the second one yet.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I think I played like the first. No, I didn't even bother. There was DLC for the first one, wasn't there? Where you play as like a security. I can't remember now, but I played the first one. The first one's good. If you're looking for a horror game, Outlast 1 is cracking.
Mm-hmm.
Very scary.
I was supposed to play that one on my stream, and then I had a vote thing between Last of Us and Outlast, and Last of Us won.
No.
Yeah, make sure. Yeah, next one, no matter what, play Outlast. It's very fun. It's got some quality gimmicks in there. That it's good.
All right. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks for that, guys. And now it's time for Dan. It's time for your retro topic of the week. So every week, Dan comes up with a topic from the world of retro gaming. So Dan, take it away.
Retro topic of the week.
You were struggling a little bit there, man.
Oh, I've become incredibly self-conscious about that now. I'm about to abort it. But basically, so again, it's theme Halloween games. This evening at the Centre for Computing History, we're doing a little spooky games tour. It's probably too late if you're hearing this. It's too late to get on board with that, but never mind. And so we've gone back through time and looked at the history of horror games. And the first one on our tour, we're going to be talking about a game called Haunted House on the VCS, the Atari 2600. And loads of others. But it's actually quite interesting because it's actually, I think at the time it got panned, it's got a bit of a bad reputation now, but Haunted House on the Atari is actually quite clever. So basically, you control a pair of eyes walking around a haunted house looking for parts of an urn. Have you played this one?
Oh, God. Yeah, probably. Yeah, when I was in elementary school, I probably played it when I had my 2600. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually really quite clever. So you're a little pair of eyes. Well, you're a human, but you're represented as a pair of eyes because the lights are out in this house. All you can see is the whites of your eyes. You walk around this house looking for pieces of an urn. You get 3 pieces of an urn, and then you get out of the house. And it's really quite clever because it's quite atmospheric because you can light a match, and if you light a match, a little aura of light appears around you, and you can find hidden things around the house. It's actually pretty compelling. So if you're bored and you've got an emulator, check that out. What other games are we doing? There's an amazing game I had no idea about because I never had in television because television wasn't that big over here.
It was big in the States, yeah.
Yeah, and of course I was like 2 when it came out. But there's a game on there called Dracula. Again, if you've got an emulator and a bit of free time, find it and play it on your PC. And basically it starts with, it's night in the city, the coffin opens, a bat flies out, and then you become Dracula. And basically it's just you running around the streets grabbing people, just dragging their blood and drinking their blood, and you've got to get back to your coffin before daybreak. And it's amazing. It's like an arcade version of like the Dracula myth. It's amazing. So you've got to get out. The ticking clock is the sunrise. If the sun's up, you'll die. So you've got this very short window in which to grab like 3 or 4 people off the streets, eat them, and then get back to your coffin. It's amazing, like some of the charm in these early horror games. I mean, horror in massive inverted commas and quote marks because they're not for us now. I suppose they're quite quaint, but there's loads. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this week. I've been looking at these old horror games. A few things we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about Seventh Guest very briefly. We're going to be talking about Ghouls and Ghosts. Talking about Grabbed by the Ghoulies, which started out life as a GameCube game before moving over to the original Xbox. Yeah, so it's worth mining. If you've got a bit of free time and you can be bothered, go back and look at some of the early horror games, see, how we got to where we are now. It's fascinating. Fascinating ideas.
Cool.
Yeah, give it a try.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Nice.
All right. So that was our topic of the week. So now we're going to move on to our new game releases from Metacritic for the week of November 2nd through the 8th. And this week we have 6 games on the list. And just a warning for you, Dan, for next week's show, 19 games.
Oh, I see. He's getting real now. It's getting serious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because next week it's like right on the cusp, man. Right on the cusp. Yeah, we're getting towards the next gen beginnings.
Yeah.
So anyway, the first game on the list comes out November 3rd for Nintendo Switch. It's called Bakugan, Champions of Vestroia.
Oh, yeah.
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 I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this game, but
I've heard of Bakugan, yeah.
Yeah, there's 700 games, so yeah, this is...
Yeah. So Bakugan Champions of Vestroia is an all-new action role-playing game with an original story that expands on the hit TV series and brings the Bakugan universe to the Nintendo Switch for the very first time. The adventure takes players on the ultimate Bakugan journey as they befriend powerful creatures known as Bakugan, gear up and customize Bakugan teams for fiercely strategic battles and master their skills to become the champion of Vestroia. Players can also play online in head-to-head multiplayer. So that's a RPG, action RPG coming out on the 6th. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dirt 5. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the Dirt series.
Yeah.
So it's another racing series. Yeah, it comes out on November 3rd for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and PS5, Xbox Series X. Xbox Series X releases on the 10th, and the PS5 version on the 12th. So another racing game for you. Take a trip around the world to and race on over 70 plus unique routes across 10 different global locations and stunning environments, complete with dynamic weather and time of day. So racing simulation, auto. Did you play Dirt 4?
Oh, no. I haven't played any of the Dirt games, I don't think.
Yeah,
how about you?
I think I did.
Did you play Dirt 4?
Yeah. It had a little VR edition, didn't it? And I think we had that at the center for people to come in and play VR. Yeah, no, we have. Yeah, I've played it. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Next up,
next up, Jurassic World Evolution Complete Edition for the Nintendo Switch, coming out on November 3rd. So build your own Jurassic World for the first time or relive the adventure on the go with Jurassic World Evolution Complete Edition, packed with every piece of downloadable content available. So that comes out on the 3rd. So have any of you played the Jurassic World series? Any of those games?
No, I used to play Jurassic stuff at the arcade.
Oh, yeah. Dan, did you play any of the Jurassic series?
I like the idea of this one though. I've been following this one for a while actually, since it was first announced on the PS4, years ago. It does look like a lot of fun actually. I've heard good things about it. If I was going to get it, I wouldn't get it on the Switch. Although the Switch obviously is pretty much an ideal partner for it. Just pick up and take it with you. But yeah, no, it does look fun. The idea of building your own Jurassic Park sounds like a lot of fun. And of course, all the DLC is cool because you get like DLC from like the original Jurassic Park, like Jurassic Park 1, and like other cool tweaks on it. But yeah, no, it's a fun game. And of course, Frontier made that game literally just down the road from me, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, out there in Cambridge. Yeah,
they are literally. You almost see them from where I live.
Cool. Yeah, a lot of stuff coming for Switch this week. Another one is Cafe Enchante on November 5th for the Nintendo Switch. It's an exclusive. So When Kotone inherits her grandfather's Tokyo Cafe, she discovers the shop holds more secrets than anyone could imagine. The cafe is a meeting spot for beings from multiple mystical worlds. You meet the king of demons, a humanoid beast, a fallen angel, and more. And when government agents monitoring non-human activities show up at your door, your new cafe is about to become a lot more colorful. This does not have any online multiplayer, though, so a visual novel.
Yeah, of course it is.
Coming on November 5th. So, Val, are you into visual novels?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. All right. Okay, next up, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, coming on November 6th. For PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. So the Nintendo Switch version comes out on November 13th. So feel the thrill of the chase and the rush of escape in Need for Speed. Hot Pursuit Remastered for the Nintendo Switch. Unleash a savage sense of speed both as an outlaw and a cop in the world's hottest high-performance cars. So racing, arcade, automobile. So a couple coming out this week. So you got this one and you got Dirt 5 coming out.
I got this is weird because this is a crap Need for Speed. They've remade like one of the NAF ones. This was pretty much panned when it came out. It wasn't like any real acclaim for it. It was like I think it was a middling 75 to 80% racing game. It just seems weird that the game before this was Need for Speed Most Wanted, which was freaking genius, and they haven't remade that one. It just seems I've been following this for a while. I don't know why they remastered this one.
I don't know, maybe they think they can pump some life into it putting it on the Switch.
I guess because it's crap. It's not crap. It's just really uninspired. It's the most generic Need for Speed game. So weird.
Okay. And one more game on the list. This might be one that you guys have never heard of. Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay on November 6th for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. So like I said, a lot of Switch titles coming out this week. So every pup is here. Play as Chase, Rubble, Marshall, Everest, Sky, Rocky, Zuma, and Tracker. Explore Adventure Bay, take on 7 super heroic missions to rescue friends and save the day, plus 7 fun mini-games. Use mighty powers, play as the pups, and use their mighty powers to create whirlwinds, use energy super tools, lift the heaviest things, and more. Team up on the double. 2 can play in co-op mode on the same screen.
I'm there.
Wow.
Yeah. I've got my pre-order in. Fun. Day one download. Nah.
The demographic for this is just not around here.
Yeah. So 6 games on the list. So Bakugan Champions of Vestroia for November 3rd. Dirt 5 on November 3rd. Jurassic World Evolution Complete Edition November 3rd. Cafe Enchante on November 5th. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered November 6th. And Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay on November 6th. For me, I probably would, out of all these 6 games, my choice for this week would be the Jurassic World Evolution series, I think. Probably want to give that a spin. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, same. Yeah, that is generally interesting. Again, I still haven't got. I keep meaning to. I keep seeing it on sale on PlayStation 4 all the time. Just I'll get on that over Christmas probably.
Yeah, Val, how about you? What would be your choice this week of those games?
Yeah, the Jurassic one, because that's. I mean, I've always loved the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. I'm huge on that, so definitely that one. Need for Speed. Well, I mean. Yeah, I don't really do racing games anymore, but I used to in the past. I used to be really addicted to Need for Speed. I can't remember which number it was, but way back in the 90s. Yeah, I remember playing that a lot. But yeah, I don't think I could get into those again. I don't know, unless they make them super realistic or VR. It's just very hard to innovate on those. But yeah, definitely Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is kind of 6 games this week, and then next week, man, it's just they're going to be dumping them on us. 19 games on the list with the next generation coming out next week. So,
Oh yeah, that Christmas
exciting times. Val, have you pre-ordered like a PS5 or Xbox for this generation yet, or no?
No, I'm a PC person.
Okay.
Yeah, not big on consoles, but yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting myself too. I just, I'm going to see what all the people in the community are saying about, the systems and, what kind of, problems they might have in the beginning, with like any installs or, any kind of, minor bugs or any kind of problems with the hardware. And once those things get, worked out, then I'll probably get mine. But yeah, I don't know. And Dan, I know you're probably going to wait for a good while if before getting one of the new consoles, right? Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, like the Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales, you can play on PS4. I mean, all of a lot of the new games that are coming out for Xbox on Game Pass, you can play those on Xbox One. So it's I mean, it might be prudent to wait, until you start seeing games that are only for next gen, which probably won't be until sometime next year anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah. Okay. All right. So before we conclude the episode, I want to let everyone know where you can find me on social media. On social media, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at expat_2020 and on my YouTube channel, Expat 2020 Gaming, where you can see my latest videos related to new game releases, game trailer impressions, as well as this podcast. You can also find me on Facebook at Expat 2020, and I have a Discord server named the Expat 2020 Arena with a great community where all of you are welcome to join and support other content creators, discuss anything and everything related to video games, promote your live streaming, as well as leave questions and comments for the podcast. Finally, I'm a live streamer and a Twitch affiliate, and you can catch my live streams on twitch.tv/expat2020, as well as on my website for content creation at expat2020.live. And I've been streaming Dead Space 2 recently, so go check that out. So that does it for me. Dan, where can people find you and what's going on at the Center for Computing History this week?
Yeah, so we're still in the middle of half term. Today is the last day of that, really. So by the time by the time this goes live, I will be halfway through a virtual coding session on making a spooky version of Pong. And later this afternoon, again, probably too late for anyone to get involved, but we're doing a spooky history tour. As for me, I don't know. I might stream this evening. I got the Ghostbusters game for the Switch, so I might stream some of that. I'm available at, press start to game on YouTube if you're interested. Yep.
All right. Thanks, Dan. And Val, where can people find you on social media?
So right now, I'm mostly on Twitter at @because_Val_. And then on Twitch, it would be Valkarii, so VALKARII. And then on Instagram, it would be BecauseGeek.
Cool. And do you have any special things going on this week, like on your Twitch channel for streaming? Anything for Halloween?
Yes. Tomorrow for Halloween, we will be streaming some Phasmophobia. Actually, I forgot to mention that game when we were talking about horror games. But yeah, it's a really good multiplayer horror game that is very popular at the moment, Phasmophobia. You guys have played it, right?
No.
I haven't played it yet. I've seen you playing. I've seen some other streamers playing it, but I haven't gotten into it yet because I'm playing Dead Space 2 right now. But Dan, have you played it at all?
Oh, no, Lord, no.
Oh, you should. It's good. You just have to hunt ghosts. It's really good. But yeah, so that one, I'll be playing that one. And then on Sunday, I'll be playing Mass Effect 3. And then, other than that, just regular schedule. Yeah.
All right. And Val, I really want to thank you for coming on the show today and And thanks for coming on at the time, because I know the time difference is pretty big for you out there in Canada. But we really appreciate you coming on. And like I was saying before, you and some others, especially you and your community, helped to get me to the affiliate level on Twitch, and I really appreciate that. And I really hope that in the future you do some when the House of the Dragon comes out on HBO. I really, really hope that you do some new videos for your YouTube channel, because you were really, really good at that. And I'd love to see some more content there. And we really appreciate you coming on the show today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So to end the show, today our indie recording artist spotlight. So today's spotlight is a special Halloween treat from accomplished film and concert music composer G-Yerro, who is a native of Madrid, Spain, from his album titled In the Dark. And the song is called Unspeakable Terror. Brilliant. So this has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. I'm your host, Expat 2020, along with my co-host, Dan, and our special guest, Valkarii. We hope to see you in the next one. Happy Halloween, everybody. Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.